Lucky you, listeners. You get to listen to a classic episode of the podcast when it was called The Two Dicks. And then it was the Talking Dicks, and now it's the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. This is from the vault. Enjoy. Do not forget to rate and review us. Thanks for your support.
What a fool I am. Expecting help from someone like you.
Talking Dicks. We're dicks. We're talking. We're the two dicks from the web series The Two Dicks. And during the pandemic-y times, we've become the Talking Dicks. Bi-coastal. I'm in Florida. Al Romas, that's Al Ducharme, Studio City. How's it going there today, Alfredo?
It's going well. This is the latest look of the studio, the new studio. And as you can see, you're back on the other side, which is my left.
Yes.
And
that is your better side. I'm on your better side.
Yeah, because you know what it is? When on the other way, my nose, I broke my nose when I was younger, screwing around.
Oh, my nose.
And
nose.
On this angle, it looks broken. There's a curve to it. On this one, I look like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I look like Brad Pitt.
Yeah. And it's not the only thing that's curved of yours. I know what's going on. Blue alert!
We were in the Navy together.
Hey now. I saw my shipmate yesterday.
Ah, Jim. How is Jim?
Oh, he's very good.
I'm
very
a
good. He
doctor,
landed.
Jim.
Sorry. He came into Tampa, and I took him on a little cigar tour, a little tour of some cigar shops. We hit a few, and we spent the day reminiscing and having a few stogies, and it was all good. Good times.
All right.
Good times.
Good times.
Good times.
Good times. I'm
So
sorry.
you're
Now
gonna
I'll make.
pop. What the hell's happening?
You know that I have to make adjustments. For some reason, you're blowing me out today. Before we started rolling, I said, "Can you check your sound? It's very loud." And he goes, "It's fine. It's fine. I've been doing this for 7 months. It's perfectly fine." Are you hooked into your phone? Or is your mic? My mic is on. Yeah, but is it hooked up to your phone? It's fine. It's fine. I go, "It's so loud." So I'm trying to adjust. And then he goes, "Oh, hold on a second." And he lifts up a wire. He goes, "Oh." I go, Apologize. He goes, "I'm sorry." It was such a big deal for you to admit. You wouldn't even admit that you were wrong.
No.
You wouldn't do it.
No.
You wouldn't do
but
it.
I you know what? I was charging my phone, and I had the cord going into the charging, and I thought that was the mic cord.
Your mind already said that you were plugged in because there was a wire. I get it.
I've done 59 of these freaking volumes. I thought I had it down.
I make mistakes too.
Really?
Yeah, like 59 episodes ago.
Is this 59? Are we 59?
I think this is official 59, right?
Oh, we'll have to have a big party episode when we're 69. Get it?
Hello.
That's good.
All
job.
good. So
good job.
This is the new look. I bought one of those gas adjustable arms that it clamps on the back of my desk behind you, and it looks like Terminator. Your clothes, give them to me now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I can lift this up and out of the way. I can watch my games up here now.
World Series.
I know. Hey, we have a bet on the World Series. Now, Al lives in Tampa, originally from New York, Long Island. And so Yankees guy.
Yes, sir.
And New York Giants guy. And
yes, sir.
He lives in Tampa now. So when his teams are not in the finals anywhere, he roots for the local team. That's what you do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here a while, and I like the Tampa teams. They're it's been some slow years, but this year
rocking.
Look at this. We got the Stanley Cup.
You got the
Tampa Bay Lightning.
got the Patriots that have merged with
Brady and Gronk.
With the Buccaneers.
With that defense, kicked Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers ass Sunday. That was looking good.
That was impressive actually to beat Green Bay, man. That was.
Killed them.
Yeah.
Killed them, really, 38-10. And we're in the World Series. Tampa Bay Rays, the lowest, either the lowest or second lowest payroll in baseball.
It's happened
against the mighty Dodgers.
It happened with the Florida Marlins way back in the day, too, right?
Back in the day, yes, sir.
And everybody
yes,
became a free agent, and they all disbanded for bigger.
They got rid of that team.
Yeah.
They got rid of. Well, that's what if you have the young team, and then they're all good, and then eventually we want money.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You're out of here.
But someone's willing to pay it. Someone is willing to pay it.
So it's the same thing. You're a New England fan, but now that you're in California, you'll root for the locals.
And of course, same thing. We have Mookie is now wearing a Dodgers uniform, and he's back, man. He had a couple of slow years, and they let him go. Boston let him go.
Slow years? What are you talking about? He's the best player in baseball, and they let him go.
He had a couple of underperforming years, or at least one. Still very good, but he was like,
well, that's it.
He was like here, and guess what?
Right.
Oop. And he had a little bit of a dip, and now he's on the Dodgers, and he's again. So,
he's great.
yeah.
He's great. He's like Aaron Rodgers was saying in an interview. He said, "My down season is a career year for most quarterbacks." That's
not ego. That's just being honest.
No, that's true.
That's
right.
not. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Right. But when you reach these levels, then they expect it. The fans expect it. Everybody expects you to perform at that level, and get better. You got to have a couple of years where you're like, whoa.
I saw on old Facebook last night some of the Boston Red Sox fans that I'm friends with very angry at Joe Buck last night. Joe Buck, because he was saying, "Wait, you're saying the truth? How did they get rid of this guy? How do you not sign him?
Of course,
you got to sign him."
But a lot of people don't like Joe Buck. I like Joe Buck personally. I like him. He's been on F is for Family a couple of times. So, a lot of people have a problem with him, and I'm telling you right now, he keeps getting these big paychecks, so he's doing something right.
He's the voice of baseball and football.
Yeah. Double duty. Right.
I played craps with his dad, Jack Buck. Jack Buck, the Hall of Fame broadcaster. He was on what was he on? Holland America. He was on the cruise. Norm Crosby was the comedian, the headliner, and Jack Buck and a bunch of the Anheuser-Busch family came on the cruise to see Norm and cruise Alaska. And I wandered into the casino one night. I saw Jack Buck basically alone playing craps. So I was like, I'll side up here and play some craps with Jack Buck, and it was great. He was a great guy, super nice, fun.
Did Jack Buck take a buck or two from you? Jack Buck?
Well, not from me. From the it was craps. Sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right, you said craps.
Took it from the house.
Took it from the house.
Not from me. Yeah.
Took it from the house.
We both took some money from the house, and he couldn't have been nicer. And then his wife came up. I guess they were going somewhere, and she came up to him, and she gave him the let's go, it's over. And he was like, I gotta go. Sorry, enjoyed it, and he left. And there you go. Got to play with Jack Buck, Hall of Famer. Which I think Joe Buck.
You are blowing out my levels again. So what's going on? What did you hit? You hit something.
I hit nothing.
There was one.
I'm going to move my mic back.
All right, move it back.
I'm going to move my mic back.
Move it back.
I'm going to move my mic back.
Move your mic back.
People don't care
Tell me about Jack Buck and move your mic back.
They don't care about the technical issues, sir. People don't care about that.
Here's what happened. Long ago, there was one episode where his levels were too low, and I couldn't get them any higher in post. So he cranks it up now. So now it blows everything out, and I go, I can adjust it. I go, I made a mistake that one time.
Anyway, crank it.
He cranks it. Moving it back is probably helpful.
I would think that's usually I was in radio. I know what goes on. You know what I'm saying?
He was a radioman in the Navy, and he was on radio. And
I was a DJ in WOFM.
He was a DJ, and he often will promote himself for comedy performances on radio. So he's got the radio experience. So when I say these things to him, he still fights me. He fights me like my wife. You say something in their best interest, and they're reluctant to go along with it. They fight you.
Of course.
All right.
Anyway, you know what time it is, sir?
Is it time for
questions?
All right. And what is our question today? Who is our question from?
Our question is from Jamie Gravy. Jamie Gravy, who is a comedian.
Oh.
I worked with him.
Oh, him. It's a him.
It's a him. I worked with him a week or two ago. That was when I filled in when Eddie Griffin had that little incident at Off the Hook in Naples. Right. And Jamie Gravy is the opening act for Eddie Griffin. But they kept him on. He didn't do anything wrong. They kept him on for the rest of the weekend. And he popped up on the old Instagram and asked a question of us.
Uh-huh.
Jamie Gravy, he wrote, how do you sleep? How do you sleep? How do you sleep,
Like
Alfred?
what position?
Do you take a medication? What do you do? Do you take a melatonin? Do you take a gummy?
I usually
rub one out?
I rub one out during a Zoom
Right?
meeting. During a Zoom meeting, I beat you to it.
Tubin.
Tubin,
What a
Jeff.
shock.
Jeffrey.
You know who's taken over though? That's already an old story. Now it's Rudy. You see, Rudy Giuliani's the story.
Did he?
You didn't know that,
Did he
you?
rub one out after his Viagra?
He's got Borat's new movie. They have a scene with Rudy and an actress who's playing a young girl, and Rudy's in this hotel room with his hand in his pants, and
No.
it's going to be breaking news. Oh, it's going to be big.
No.
Tubin just sent some flowers and some wine to Rudy to say thank you, because Tubin's done that story. When you're watching this, the Tubin story's gone. And I'm predicting it's all Rudy.
It's all Rudy.
Everyone's talking about Rudy.
How many days left before the election? And all kinds of shit's going to happen over the next 12 days. It's just...
Yeah, but the Rudy story, I think it's going to be big for a day or two. Everything's for a day or two. And nobody cares after a day or two. You know what I mean? But anyway, Mr. Jamie Gravy, funny comedian, he writes, how do you sleep? How do you sleep?
I don't... Well, first of all, it's sober October, so I haven't had any alcohol. I used to take melatonin back in the day when I was having a little trouble. None. I'm all kind of a natural kind of a thing.
Naked? You sleep nude?
No. I sleep with.
That would be all natural.
Right, you're right in that regard. Yes, in the clothing, I wear usually like an underwear and a t-shirt. I wear a t-shirt and
underwear?
I wear underwear.
All right.
My wife wears like a snowsuit head to toe in the middle of summer, and the AC's on.
Can you blame her? Can you blame her?
She
doesn't trust you. She probably got zip fucking locks and combinations and all sorts of shit.
And I switch. I rotate.
She has an elaborate series of trusses.
Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Booby traps and.
Can't blame her. Yeah.
Get it off!
Yeah.
Get it off!
Yeah. All right, that joke ended 20 seconds ago. Okay. And he keeps going. That joke was done.
Big show for me.
So nothing.
Live
so wait.
performance. Oh, I'm sorry. We go back. So I toss and turn.
So nothing.
Not all night. I'm not a fit sleeper, but I tend to sleep on one side for a few hours, and then I'll wake up and I'll feel a little stiff, and I'll just, hey now.
And
then I rotate my body over.
Uh-huh.
Now here's the deal. We have a queen size bed. When we are drinking wine with our dinner, and the missus has 2 glasses of wine with her dinner, and she's breathing like a dragon in the middle of the night, I'll turn over.
Oh.
If I'm sore or pins and needles, I'll turn over, and I'm getting that hot blast of Pinot Grigio and whatever we ate for dinner, and I'm just like, I'll take the pain, and I roll back over. But I usually go side to back.
Okay.
I don't do the feet. I don't do the fetal, and I don't sleep on my stomach because that's a recipe for a bad back.
Is it?
Yeah.
I sleep on my stomach and I've never had a bad back. So your theory is bullshit, sir. I call bullshit on your theory.
I believe if you're 6 feet and taller, you're like Jim McHugh says that he sleeps on his stomach and his back is always bothering him. I'm like, dude, you're 7 feet long.
He's 7 feet. Yeah, he's 7 feet
There's
tall.
you need like extra everything, you know. I do. I said, do you have a California king? He's like, no. I'm like, what are you, an idiot? Sorry.
Wow, seems a little much for be mad at Jim McHugh just for the way he sleeps. I enjoy a couple of melatonin.
You do the How many milligrams? How many milligrams?
I'll do 15 milligrams. 3 5s.
Really?
3 5s.
Because I get a headache sometimes when I was doing the high dose. I started taking 2 and 3 milligrams just to get me off into Jeffrey Tubin into sleep mode. But I was finding that after 3, 4, 5 hours, wide awake. So when it wore
Right.
off, I was wide awake. And then if I took too much, I had like a little headache, a little throbber.
No.
A little
I
throbber.
have no problems. I have no problems with. I do 3 of them, 15 milligrams, 20 minutes or so before I hit the rack, and I sleep pretty good.
How many hours do you require?
I'm like, remember the Bill Hicks joke? I need 8 at night and 10 during the day. So what am I doing now? Probably about 7 hours.
7's good. I like that. If I achieve 7, that's a solid night's sleep for me. I've been doing a lot of 6 to 6.5. I do 2 or 3 days of that, and then I'll go for like a long walk or a hike, and then I'll pass out. I'll sleep 8.5. If nothing
in the middle of the night, you mean you get up and hike and then come back to bed?
No, that's not what I meant. Is that how it sounded?
It sounded like you wake up and then you go on a long hike and then you go back to bed.
The following night, yes. So if I have a 6-hour sleep and then I go for a long hike or exercise, that night I'll usually get 8 sometimes longer. It depends on how much exercise I get. But normally 7 hours is the sweet spot.
Yeah, man.
Did we answer?
And
we answered. Did Jamie Grady's answer? Was that the right answer to?
I think he was either asking that or after seeing my act, he was asking, "How do you sleep?" After seeing that bullshit, he might have been. I don't know how to take this. Maybe he wrote, "How do you sleep, you son of a bitch?" After 25 years of fooling people like that, I don't know. Speaking of which, we have gigs this weekend.
Yes, Thursday.
We have live performances.
We do. I had mine was last night. Mine was last night. It was awesome. We were sold out.
Is it sold out? Do you know?
It is, but as you know, reduced attendance.
Right.
Yeah, but sold out. Yes.
Nice.
So, again, Steph Clark always puts on a nice show, and Bernadette Pauly and I are working together.
This is the funny ladies of comedy, and with you, is this the show?
Funny Girl.
Is this the one you're on?
Funny Girl Events is the name of her company, and she puts these up at various venues. A lot of wineries, it's California, breweries, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they usually they run very well. She has one in Calabasas that we like in particular. It's like it's a whiskey room in the back of a restaurant bar, and it's really cool. It only seats about 60, but it's cool.
Nice. I have 4 shows, but
What?
yeah, I don't know if they're I assume they're usually sold out. They do a great job at this place, but they'll be half full or whatever.
Beach,
They're moving,
right?
moving tables out of the way and things. So should be a little different, but it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be fun, and then. I'll be there on our next podcast. I'll be broadcasting from somewhere in Vero Beach. Hotel room or somewhere.
I like the volume or episode where we actually did that. You were driving in the car, pretending to drive at some point. He was actually he was pretending he was driving. I'm like, just drive. He's like, oh.
Well, I didn't know if the sound.
Yeah,
you freak out with sound, so I wanted to make sure it was stable.
Yeah, but it added to it because you didn't start driving until 10 minutes in, so it was good.
Right.
It was good.
But this one I'll be there.
Do you have a hotel room?
So I have a hotel room, yes, sir. Right near the gig too. One of those, like right near it. So if you want to have a couple of cocktails, little walk to the hotel.
Do you want
nice.
to do it from the hotel room, or do you want to do it in the car again?
I'll probably do it from the hotel room.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll do it poolside if I'm in the mood for that. A little poolside action.
No? All right.
That might be nice.
So we answered mail. We talked about sleeping. We talked about gigs. What else do we have?
And you yelled about sound for 10 minutes. So that was good. We covered it all.
I'm still making adjustments, by the way. Still making adjustments.
I put a little audio clip on our Patreon page. I found, I was going through my phone. You delete things. You just go, I got to delete stuff. I don't know where it's from. It's a little audio clip. It's about a minute-long live comedy clip where I'm doing a little crowd work, and I put it on the Patreon page. Check it out if you're a Patreon member. If you're not, join the Patreon. $5, $10, $15, $2,500, whatever you want, but stuff like that. But I don't know where it's from. It could be a year old, 2 years old. I have no idea, but I found it on my phone, and I thought, well, let me throw it on the Patreon.
Lost episodes.
So it's up there.
It falls in that
A
category.
little comedy clip.
A little comedy
if you
clip.
Will. Audio. It's an audio clip from somewhere that was on my phone, and yeah. Only for the Patreon members.
Are we out?
I think so.
The lighting is.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
Good luck in prison.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Go to patreon.com/The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.